Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Sheila Bila coming to you with another review. Well, not another review, but this is the review of Tyler Perry's Divorced Sisters. Yes, where have y'all been? Where have I been? I know I haven't talked to y'all in a while. Life has been lifing for me. I done, child, been through it. I mean, yeah, with the tornadoes coming through here and with my grandmother passing, and then I went on vacation. Then I had to go on a work trip to Kenya, Mombasa. I haven't really been able to talk to y'all, and now I am back, and I knew that I was going to review this show. So here I am, and I am reviewing Divorced Sisters, and the first episode is called, what is it, The Pretty Lady? And we're going to get into it. Overall, what I thought about it, I thought this was pretty good. It's really different from Sistas, even though it's like it almost like this looks like this picture here, it looks like Sistas, but I mean it's Divorced Sisters. So I guess Tyler Perry likes these little still shots of women with their head looking up, because we're gonna make it through the storm, right? But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get through the first review of Tyler Perry's Divorced Sisters, and it is so nice to talk to y'all. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so now the Divorced Sister starts out with Geneva and Tiffany. So we all know that Geneva is Kadeem, which is Duvall Ellis's Zach's wife that plays on the original Sisters. So we do know her. I don't know Tiffany, the Tiffany character, so I don't have any background on her. But it starts out they're friends, right? So they're picking up Geneva's daughter from school. Her name is Anika. And when they get to the front, you know how it is when you're in the carpool and you're kind of talking, they give a little background, right? Tiffany's already divorced, and Geneva is kind of going through her little thing, but they're saying that, Geneva, don't worry about it. You are the one that can make it. There are some people out here that will get married and the marriage will last. But the show is called Divorced Sisters, so we know that something is going to happen to where it's not going to last, right? Because it's Divorced Sisters. So as they are picking up the daughter, Anika, you have the teacher. Her name is Mrs. Adams, and she's saying to Geneva, "Hey, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Normally your husband is here picking up your daughter." And you know that Geneva is a lawyer and she's very, very busy. So she doesn't oftentimes go to pick up her daughter. Maybe it's the nanny or the daddy, but it's not really her all the time. And Mrs. Adams is telling Geneva, you might need to come more often. It is good to see both the mother and the father present when it comes to the child with her school. Okay, so they're looking at her like, what you trying to say? They kind of looked at it like it was a little shady, but she is a teacher, so she sees things that Geneva don't always see. So they pick up little Anika, they go ahead and go into the house. So now you have LaToya Luckett. LaToya Luckett's character is named Rashida. So Rashida is married to Devon Franklin's character, which is named Jeff. So we do know who LaToya Luckett is, Destiny's Child, all that green leaf, all that, right? And we know who Devon Franklin is. He makes the plays, the movies, and he was Megan Good's ex-husband. So you have Jeff and you have Rashida. They are married and they are pastors of a church. Kind of green leafish, right? But they're pastors of a church, and apparently Rashida, she talks too long when she's giving the word, and Jeff doesn't really like it too much, and she says we're not going to rush the spirit and all of that. But the crazy part about it is Jeff is really kind of reprimanding her in front of the board while they're having like a board meeting. It looks as if they're trying to expand their church services so they can't have 3 services on Sunday. So they're just kind of trying to spread it out. That way, if they put the services on different days, then Rashida can kind of talk as long as she wants. She can let the Lord move her as long as he need to move. And what happens was when they are in the meeting, Rashida doesn't like it. And Jeff kind of cuts the meeting off because he has somewhere that he needs to be. So as he's leaving, they end up meeting in the hallway because Rashida comes out and stops him, and she tries to tell him, like, I don't like how you did me in that meeting. I don't like, you're reprimanding me in front of people, and it's not fair. And all the while that they're talking, there's another member there. I guess that's the pastor's right-hand man, armor bearer, or whatever they call it. Maybe that's him. And she don't want to talk about it in front of him. She tells him to leave, but he doesn't wait on her command. He waits on Jeff's command. And she's just like, see how you doing me? The people don't even have respect for me anymore, or whatever. But again, Jeff doesn't want to hear it. He kind of walks off, and the other sister, divorced sister, Bridget, she comes in and they kind of talk a little bit because she doesn't like how she's being treated. Rashida doesn't. Okay, so now after Geneva and Tiffany pick up Anika, baby Anika, they pick her up, they come to Geneva's home, and who do they have waiting outside of the home? It is Naomi. Naomi, her name is Portia. Now, I've seen her in other little shows or whatever, but here she is here on Divorced Sisters. So Naomi is upset. She's like the firecracker. She's like the wild card, right? Like the Danny was on Sisters. She's almost like a Danny type character, just wildfire. Like she don't play no games, but she's just her. And she's upset because she is also married to a pastor, and they are actually getting a divorce. And that pastor was, I guess he leaving her for a white woman, child. Leaving her for a white woman. And Naomi isn't taking it really well. Like she is like going off. And actually, the pastor is putting a restraining order against her because he said that she has been stalking him. And Naomi is upset, and Geneva is Naomi's lawyer. So Naomi is like, Geneva, you need to be handling this. And Naomi done already fired about 9 other lawyers. So she's telling Geneva, I'm firing you too, because there is no way that her husband is able to get away with the things that he's getting away with when it comes to her, like restraining orders, and he's saying that I'm stalking him and all that other stuff. But Geneva is like, but you have been stalking the man. Like you have been, giving this man a hard time. So he pretty much kind of has the right to do so. And Naomi doesn't want to hear it, and she's fired her, and she goes on off, right? So now back over at the church, it's Rashida and Bridget. And Bridget actually works for Rashida. I guess that's her right-hand woman, armor bearer, whatever they call them at church, right? So Bridget is her friend, her personal friend, and she works for her. And Bridget can clearly see that something is wrong with her friend. And she's like, are you okay? What is wrong with you? And Rashida wants to tell Bridget that something is going on with her personally, but she doesn't want to disclose that information just yet. And it's like she almost says it, but she doesn't. She's holding back. Now, mind y'all, there is actually a party that's going to be going on. And in the party, I guess it's like some type of pastor's church party or some gala, something is going on where everybody is going to be together. And because Naomi and her pastor husband is now divorced, and they have like these restraining orders and all that stuff, only one person can come to the party. So now they found out that the pastor is coming. Naomi's ex-husband is coming, or divorcee husband is coming, and Naomi can't show up. So now that's like a point of contention within the whole little sister group. All right. So now I've already told you that, about the whole party incident. They're going to make a whole phone call and all that stuff. But here, at this point right here, you have Anika, which is the daughter, and she's sitting at the table and she's playing with these 2 dolls, right? These 2 dolls. And she's telling one doll that, dang, you look good with your fine self. And because she said a curse word, and I don't cuss, but she said the D word. And so Geneva and Tiffany looking at each other like, girl, what your baby just say? And so Geneva said, what did you say? And she said, dang, you look good with your fine self. And where did you get that from, Anika? She said, that's what daddy told the pretty lady. The pretty lady? Well, Geneva looking like, what? Where did you get that from? Well, that's what daddy tells the pretty lady. Oh, so your daddy is telling a pretty lady that. And they kissed, because that's what the dolls did. You look good with your fine self, and they kissed. Okay. So now Tiffany is like, well, I don't know. Don't start nothing, because now Geneva, this is when her lawyer skills come in. She's over here grilling her daughter. Like, what is the pretty lady? Who is this lady? Oh, here is Anika. That is Madison's mom. Madison is a little girl that goes to school with Anika. Who is Madison's mom? And she starts grilling the daughter. You know how us parents do. When I hear some stuff that don't make sense, I'm trying to know, okay, who is Madison's mom? Where do they live? What church they go to? Where they work? Chad and daughter don't know none of that stuff. But anyway, so Tiffany is like, look, don't start grilling the daughter. Don't start lawyering your daughter. Just calm down and we'll talk about this later. All right, so now you have Naomi. Naomi called her in a booty call. I guess she called 1-800-BBDs, right? And he comes up to the door, and that's Bolo. Y'all remember Bolo from Real Housewives of Atlanta? And he also played on All the Queen's Men. I really don't remember what his name is on here, though. I just know he's a BBD for hire. So he comes in and he looking around. He just like, oh, so this is where you live? Like, so this your house by yourself? She's like, well, why are you worried about it and all that stuff? So she said that she's going through divorce. Do I have to worry about him? Like, and then he's just asking all these weird questions, asking him who decorated the place. And she's just like, why are you asking who decorated this place? Are you gay? Are you on a down low? Like, what are you doing? And she said he's asking real sus questions. I mean, there are men out here that know how to decorate. Everybody that know how to decorate ain't gay. FYI. He just has a passion for fashion and interior decorating. It is what it is. So he was like, look, you called me over here to do a service, and I'm here to do the service. They end up having this back and forth banter where he ends up choking her and all this stuff, and they end up getting it in, right? They do that. All right, so now you have Geneva. She's over here trying to do her investigative services. One thing a woman gonna do, we gonna investigate. And until we find what we looking for, we are gonna be relentless. You hear me? So she going around, she calling up to the school, trying to get information from Miss Adams. Miss Adams is telling her, look, I can't give you the information of Madison's parents. I can't, because Geneva's calling up there talking about, I'm trying to have a play date with my daughter, and I'm trying to, with my daughter's friend Madison. I'm trying to, see who Madison's mom is. I need to get Madison's mom's phone number so I can set up a play date. Miss Adams is like, I can't give you that information. If you start coming to these parent teacher conference meetings, then you can meet the people's mamas for yourselves. You can ask them the questions for yourself. All right. So that's a dead end for Geneva, but Geneva is just not done just yet. All right. So now, after Naomi and Bolo have this whole get it in session, Naomi is telling Bolo to get up out of her house. He stank, and he needs to leave. And it's like they're threatening each other. Like they have this back and forth. And Bolo, I don't remember his name. That's why I'm calling him Bolo. So Bolo was looking at Naomi trying to hack inside of her divorcee husband's, I guess it's the girlfriend, whatever. She's trying to hack into the account just to see what this lady is doing on a day-to-day. So while you have Geneva over here trying to stalk, her husband's pretty lady, you have Naomi over here trying to stalk her divorcee husband's pretty lady, the white lady, right? So Bolo is a jack of all trades. So he's an interior decorator and he also is a hacker. So he says, give me your laptop. He takes the laptop and says, let me help you. She don't want to help. They go back and forth. She ends up getting her GUN, taking the GUN, putting it in his face. He ends up licking the GUN, talking about you ain't gonna do nothing. Whatever you gonna do, I got it. If you know, just the whole back and forth and all that stuff. It was just weird. But he ends up getting inside the woman's account, you know, because he make fake pages all the time. He ends up getting inside the account and giving her the information that he needs. And he's telling her like, hey, I'll come back if you want to or whatever. And he ends up leaving. So we all know that Bolo just may be the side dude that's going to be the main dude, because he says anything she needs, he can handle it for her. If he need to get down and dirty with the man, you know, with the divorcee husband, he can do that too. If you need him to come and decorate your house, he can do that too. If you need him to go and hack into megabytes and gigabytes, and he can do that too. So whatever you need, he got it. Anyway, so yeah. All right, so now you have the girls over here, Bridget and Tiffany. So they over here getting these little spa kits or whatever, right? They getting their feet done. And you know how it is in a sister circle when you find out what's going on. You know something about one friend, I know something about the other. We don't want to talk about it, but we do want to talk about it. So they are trying to get information out of each other about the other friends. Okay. Geneva done did a mastermind. This girl done went down here to the school, done knocked on the door, done butted up the janitor to get the janitor to take her into Anika's classroom, saying that she left a teddy bear to get inside the classroom so she can figure out who is Madison's mom. So she get in there. The janitor said, I'm not supposed to do this, but he does it anyway. So they are inside the classroom, and she is looking around and she sees a picture of her daughter. Oh, this is my baby. This is Anika. Oh, and that's Madison. That's my daughter's friend. Do you know who, asking the janitor, do you know who Madison is? You know, who Madison's mom is? And first he was saying, you know, I'm old. I've been here. I don't remember everybody. But all of a sudden, he remembers that Madison's mom, I think her name was Hampton. Was it Hamilton or Hampton? One of them. And she said, yeah, I know who Madison's mom is. She always wears the yoga pants. Okay, so she wears the yoga pants. And where does she work? Or whatever. He doesn't know. But then all of a sudden it hits him. It hits him, right? Oh, she wears the yoga pants that says Agoya. Whatever it is yoga spelled backwards. She owns the company. And how he knows this, because it was written on her yoga pants, and I guess he asked them about it, and she told him that she has her own, yoga company. It's called Agoya, Yohogia, girl, whatever it is, and that's the name of the company. So thank you. That is all I needed. You know what? I left the teddy bear in the other car. So she got her information, and that's just what it is. Now, back over here, Rashida had a counseling session that she had to do. So the girl was calling Rashida till they end up being able to set up this whole counseling session. So now here we are at the counseling session. The girl comes in, she's sitting down, she's over there with her head held down, all like she's embarrassed and she's shamed, right? So the girl is over here commending Rashida. You are a good teacher. You know what I'm saying? I like the sermon that you did about the woman at the well. And, Rashida just getting a little happy. Like, I'm glad you was listening. I'm glad you're, you was paying attention and all that stuff. The woman at the well, don't focus on the issue. Focus on the solution. Because, Jesus didn't condemn her. He wrote down all the sins in the sand and all that stuff. That's what the theologians claim that's what's happened, right? So she was like, do you have any sins? This is what the girl is asking Rashida, do you have any sins? And she's just like, well, you know how we go through the scripture. I all have sinned, but we just try to make it right. And so the girl is saying, well, I've sinned. And okay, what have you? And I've actually sinned against you. She's like, you sinned against me? Yeah. Child, she done told this lady that she been sleeping with her husband several times. I said, oh. So you called me down here to have a counseling session to tell me that you've been sleeping with my husband several times. Now, how am I supposed to take this information? Now, I am a lady of the cloth. And you sitting over here telling me that you've been sleeping with my husband. And you sad about it. Now, what are we supposed to do with this information? And moving forward, how am I supposed to treat you in this situation? Am I supposed to forgive you right then? Am I supposed to say all that sin? Or am I supposed to choke your neck? Or do I need to call my husband and tell him to come down here so we all can have a one-on-one? So what are we supposed to do? So I thought, you know what? That's the end of the episode. I thought overall that the episode was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, Divorce Sistas. You know how Tyler Perry do. He starts off strong. And then somewhere it ends up child getting redundant. But hopefully in this Divorce Sistas, he starts out strong and he stays strong. Mind you, like these scenes, they kind of were just a little laggy, a little bit, as Tyler Perry does. But overall, I think that this episode was really, really good. I am looking forward to the next episode of Divorce Sistas. Y'all tell me what y'all think and what y'all like, and y'all have a great day. This is Sheila Bila. Like, comment, and subscribe, right? And have a blessed day. Bye.